everyone, Aiden G here, back again, and today we're going to be reviewing the new Doja Cat album, Planet Her. This is the third studio album from LA rapper, singer, songwriter, and producer Doja Cat. Doja Cat's been around for a little while now. She made her debut in 2018 with her first album, Amala, which had a few bangers on it, but I didn't really see anything special there. I wasn't a huge fan of it. But it wasn't until 2019 when Doja Cat released her single Say So, which made it to the top of the charts and eventually on her sophomore album Hot Pink. Even though I wasn't huge on the track Say So, I still found a good amount of the record enjoyable on the tracks like Cybersex and Streets and Like That, where Doja really showed potential in her singing game and her rap game especially. And carrying on with that, she definitely continued to show that potential on this new record. Starting with the beginning two tracks, Woman and Naked, I thought these were fantastic tracks to start off this record. Both of these tracks have really great drums and a really fun piano riff. These tracks sound like something I would hear on a really fun Saturday night at a jazz club in New York City. These tracks also do a great job of introducing the record's theme, just about love and romance, but also focusing on yourself, which I think is really cool. Next, we have the track Payday with Young Thug on it. I think this is one of Doja's best performances on the record. I think she has a great flow on it, great performance. I also really like what she's talking about. Doja kind of explores the relationship between money and happiness on this track, and I think she goes in a direction where obviously we need to focus more on love rather than using money to buy happiness, because that's what really matters. And I really like her approach to that. It was really smooth and slick. Not only that, but I thought Young Thug did a great job complimenting Doja Cat on this record. I thought his voice really matched well with the track, really added a lot to it. And Young Thug seems to essentially be rapping about the other point of view, kind of the man in the relationship, about the whole perspective of money and why he feels like he needs it to make her happy and why it makes him feel insecure. And I think that's really cool. Next, we have the track Get Into It. Yeah! Now, this track is nothing less of a banger. It slaps so hard. It's very short, but it's also sweet. I really love Doja's vocals on this. I really thought she took a risk just going for it, and I thought it worked out really well. Besides Doja's vocals, I also think the instrumental is great. There's a really cool piano riff on it that I think complements the hip-hop drums really well and brings together for a great track. Then we have the track Need to Know. So this is one of the tracks Doja first released to tease this album. And honestly, when I first heard it, I wasn't a huge fan of it. I thought the beat was pretty basic. And I still do think the beat is pretty basic, but over time, I think this track really grew on me. I really like Doja's flow on it. I think it's overall just an enjoyable track, but definitely not one of my favorites. After that is the track I Don't Do Drugs with none other than Ariana Grande on it. I personally really like this track a lot. I really like the flow of it. I really like the production on it. My main complaint with the track, though, is that I feel Ari isn't adding anything that Doja isn't capable of adding herself. Really seems like a wasted opportunity because I know Ari can go so much higher than she did. But still, I thought they both gave pretty good performances. I just thought it could have been done a little bit better. Then that leads me into the other features on this album, which I thought weren't so hot either. On the tracks You Right featuring The Weeknd and Options featuring Jit, I thought both of these features were kind of half-assed. There wasn't a lot of passion behind their verses, not a lot of creativity. Not only that, but on both of these tracks, Doja isn't really selling it at all either. At this point in the record, we're over halfway through and she's essentially repeating herself on this whole subject matter about the whole idea of sex and love and how important it is to someone. And I feel, okay, I understand the message of your record, but it's getting a little bit repetitive. And I think it's great that there's this whole cohesive theme, but I think, especially with someone like The Weeknd on a track like You Right, there was just so much more potential for that track, and it just didn't live up to the hype. Then we have the tracks Love to Dream, Been Like This, and Imagine. Again, kind of carrying on with what I said about You Right and Options, I feel like these songs are kind of bland. There's not a lot to it. I feel that Doja is pretty good on them. She has the same flow, really, and she's not doing bad performance-wise, but again, it's just more of the same stuff. nothing really new being added to the record. I don't know. I think they're just kind of some of the weakest tracks on here. But then later on in the record, we have the track Ain't Shit. I thought this track was a nice curveball in the whole album because it is a new sound compared to most of the songs, and the subject matter, it's still carrying on that theme of sex and romance and love, but it's going in a little bit deeper. On this track, Doja seems to be exploring the mental effects a relationship can have on someone. And she's not just seeing it from her point of view, she's trying to see it from the other person's point of view too. I think this is one of the stronger tracks lyrically too, but there are also some lyrics that stand out on it that are just funny to me. I'm a freak, not a masochist. Should've known you had the baddest bitch. Left on red and can't get head. Really, you ain't shit, need a laxative. Other than that, I still feel that the song is really strong lyrically and it has a really great message, and I thought it was formed really cool. Later on in the track list, we have the song Kiss Me More. This was the original teaser for this whole album, first one, and when I first heard it, I loved it, and I still love it now. I think SZA does a great job, not only that, but Doja does a fantastic job. Her style seems to go in a wider variety on this song, including singing and rapping, and it really works well together. I think the production is done really well too. It's really fun, it's really groovy. Definitely one of the best moments on this album. And then we have one of the last tracks, which is probably my favorite track on this whole album, which is Alone. I personally saw this track as a way of Doja saying, okay, we understand that love is important to have in your life. It's very important to have someone that cares about you. But let's just pause for a second and realize sometimes it's okay to just be alone by yourself and just sit with your thoughts and think about what you really want. I thought the production on this track was really fantastic too. It was really simple, just a nice uplifting guitar combined with this really great vocal melody mixed in with it. But the real highlight of this track is Doja and her performance. It's kind of subtle. It's not too strong or abrasive. The vocals are just very genuine and honest. I feel like it really makes the message more impactful to the listener. And I think Doja's whole approach to this track is amazing, how it's her kind of just slowly realizing like, oh my God, like I don't want a relationship right now. Even though I've been saying this whole time that it's exactly what I need, it's exactly what's missing in my life, I think I just need to reconnect with myself for a bit. I thought her lyrics were very creative in the way they were written. I thought this was the true highlight of the whole record. I'm feeling a 6 out of 10 for this record. I really enjoyed Doja's sound overall. I really hope that she continues on with it, maybe experiment with it a little more on the R&B side. But yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what Doja has in store next for us.